Because if you look in this country, we have 60% of our graduates entering the workforce are women. More than 50% of managers in organizations are women. But if we get to senior levels of leadership, we average out at 15 to 17% across multiple industries. And just this week, I've learned that the creative industries are even worse. They average 3% creative directors in your country are women. So I was very disappointed last time to even talk, because I feel at some level as leadership development experts we're failing the people we're serving because of the dire results we're seeing in the leadership pipeline. But that was then. And since that very marketing preview, what's been wonderful is we've seen the results of our cohort members who've come through this program. We've run one cohort, and what has been tremendous is we can now look back, and you'll hear from some of the women here this evening, is we've seen women move into very strong positions of leadership after coming through this program. And they've moved into strong positions of leadership in their organizations and in the region. So that to me is very exciting. We've also had an opportunity to hear back from companies who feel that their return on investment was good, that they're seeing their succession pipelines fill up nicely and strongly, that they're seeing new interesting business development opportunities that came out of thinking on this program. They've seen tremendous cost savings in their organizations because of the negotiation skills. So I'm feeling much happier sitting here today and claiming my role as leadership expert, because we've seen results, and we've seen results coming out of this program. And I think what we've also been able to do is stand back and go, all right, what made this program successful? And if we look at the future cohorts, what do we want to keep? What do we want to see more of in the next cohorts? And to me, what's foundationally important, and it comes to me around 4 points about what makes this program so successful. And the very first one is that I think we teach the skills that we know are often undeveloped in the women's repertoire, or for a number of reasons. I'm not blaming the women here. We just know there's certain skill sets that women often don't use as much as men, and so we develop those skills in this program. And we develop the skills that accelerate the development of women's talents, and they include negotiation skills. We spend a lot of time in our program on negotiation skills. We look at building networks of influence and power. We look at conflicts in teams. We look at leading change and visioning. These are the skill sets we know to be important for women's talents, and so we work on them. And you come on our program, and you have 12 days of instruction with renowned academics who you'll be hearing from today on those very skill sets. So that to me is the first thing that we do very differently in the program. The second thing we do is we take those skills and take those topics, and we ground them with an analysis of second-generation bias. And I know I'm almost nervous as I'm sitting here today, because I think women have worked really hard to take gender out of the equation and be recognized for our own talents and skills. But do I need to remind you of that leadership pipeline? There's a problem, and so we need to understand what barriers we could be bumping up against, what stereotypes we could be seeing in the environments we work in. And so with each topic, we analyze what the biases and stereotypes could be around that and how we address it. So we anchor all this learning in an understanding of bias, and we do it in a way that's helpful for organizations. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and I think every one of our cohort members will talk to how much value they got from that experience, each person coming through our program gets to work with the coach. So for 6 months, you work one-on-one with the coach who helps you deal with the realities that you face in your organization. And then lastly, and that to me is the most important part of this program, is that we anchor our notion of women's leadership not in perception. We don't spend a lot of time saying, okay, we're going to develop a leader that looks like this, or a leader that is in response to a gender stereotype. We anchor women's notion of leadership very much in their sense of purpose. Who do they want to be as a leader, and what does that look like, and how do we support them, as opposed to you need to be more like a guy or a girl as a leader. That's not what we're about. We're about connecting and anchoring our development to purpose. So those to me are the 4 reasons I think that make this program successful.